Hey YouTube, I want to give you a 1-year update on my Rocky Mountain Sherpa. In the last video I made, I complained about how the rear shock had crapped out and how I didn't like the noise the front shock makes and how I didn't like the front wheel skewer. Other than that, I really do love this bike. Well, my local bike shop sent back both my rear shock and front shock to Hayes, who makes Manitou, and Hayes quickly fixed the rear shock and also rebuilt the front one at no charge to me. My rear shock has worked perfectly ever since. My front one still sounds kind of clunky, but it's fine. It works really well, and it's one of the better shocks I've ever owned. Anyway, this past winter, I was down in Brevard, North Carolina, and I ran into 3 guys who work for Hayes. They were in the fish hatchery parking lot working on some new prototype forks, and they said no pictures, but I snapped a couple from a distance after I left them. Anyway, I told them that I had a Sherpa, and they asked me how I liked it, how I liked the shocks, and I told them about how the rear shock failed and how I hate the front skewer. And they said, yeah, our original rear shock had a problem, but it's been fixed. And my brother probably fixed your rear shock. And that was pretty cool. They were really nice guys. One of the guys says, do you have your bike with you? Because he would have rebuilt my shocks for me, or serviced them or whatever. But unfortunately I didn't, because I had broken the rear wheel. It had gotten all out of true, and some of the spokes had started pulling through the WTB scraper rim. And can you see the cracks in this picture? The spokes were actually pulling through the rim. That I got fixed. But anyway, back to Hayes. The guys were wicked nice, and the one guy who offered to service my shocks, he went into the van and pulled out a brand new front skewer, which he said fixes the difficulties with the old one. So let me give that a try here on my bike and see if it works any better. I'm not sure what the difference is, but let's see how easy the new one is to put in. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Not too bad. That worked amazingly well. That was so easy. My old one was so hard to put back in. It was really screwy. So this is fantastic, having the new skewer. I still love my Sherpa, but while my rear wheel was broken, I rented a Santa Cruz Hightower 27.5-inch plus bike, and at first I thought it was really horrible because it's so slacked out and it felt pretty sluggish on the road. But once I hit the trails, I was blown away. It is a great bike. It climbed amazingly well and descended like a downhill bike. It was crazy how great the Santa Cruz Hightower is. It's radically different from any other bike I've used, and it unfortunately costs $3,000 more than my Sherpa for the version of it with the SRAM Eagle drivetrain, which was just awesome. I love SRAM Eagle. Having a 1050 rear cassette and a really, really low gear is so, I just love it. It helps my knees, it helps my climbing, I don't get as fatigued. It's even lower than my 2x drivetrain. All the bikes that I've looked at with SRAM Eagle cost $6,000 or more. It's horrible, but you only go around once, and I think I'm going to go that route. So anyway, this video is supposed to be about the Rocky Mountain Sherpa, and it is a fantastic bike. It's the first 27.5-inch plus bike I've owned, and I love it. We've had some issues, but they've all been worked out. I would ride this a lot longer, except for I like the Hightower for its downhill capabilities. So I'm going to be selling this bike and moving on to the Hightower. Thanks for watching.